We're only a few months into 2021, and it's already clear that the further development and execution of cloud-native strategies, including the role of public cloud platforms, will be a key focus for companies of all shapes and sizes in the telecoms industry this year. To talk more about this topic, I'm here with Danielle Royston, CEO and founder at TelcoDR. So, Danielle, you recently participated in TelecomTV's DSP Leaders World Forum, delivering a deep dive presentation on Webscale applications and answering questions during our live Q&A discussion about the changing shape of the telecom ecosystem. What were your key takeaways from the forum?
So this is the first time I've participated in that event. It was a really great event that was held March 8th through the 12th, and I was really excited to be a part of it. And what's really great is that you shared these videos from the event out on YouTube, and it's made it really easy for me to track the number of views my video has gotten. But what I really was most interested in is what were the popular videos from that event. And so besides mine, which I'm really proud of, there was a great interview that Ray, you did with Enrique Blanco, the CTIO of Telefonica. And then there was a great Open RAN panel on what's the plan for 2021 that Guy Daniels did. And I think there's this unifying theme that you're seeing going on across all of these very popular talks. And that is there's massive disruption going on in telco. Enrique talked about all the hard work his organization is doing to really shift and open up the vendor ecosystem. Telefonica, as well as some other European operators, have signed the MOU to start experimenting and testing Open RAN. And then there was this great panel on Open RAN where you hear all these guys talking about how it's this quantum leap forward in technology on the RAN side. It's opening it up to be able to add new software via X apps. And then, of course, there's my talk on the future of charging with Togi and Webscale charging. And I think what you're seeing here and what these talks cover is that with the disaggregation of the RAN and the power of the public cloud, you can start to add new software capabilities, new applications, adding machine learning, artificial intelligence, and analytics, both network side and on the subscriber side. It's all this great new innovation coming to telco. And I think the big takeaway, when you look at that week and you look at what people are talking about, is that there's big disruption happening, not only on the software side, but in the network. And I think public cloud is a massive transformational force. It's really starting to drive some of these ideas. So is Open RAN. And it's a really fun time to be in telco. So it was a really great event. If anyone missed it, you should definitely go back and watch these videos. It's really, really great content. Yeah.
Absolutely. We would encourage everybody to go back and watch all of the sessions from the forum.
Yes.
Now, in your deep dive video talk, you mentioned a startup called Togi, and you've got the advanced story on what this company has planned for the telecom sector. Can you just tell us a little bit more about Togi?
Yeah, so Togi is this great new charging startup that's still in stealth mode. They're planning to launch at MWC in Barcelona. God willing that happens. And they're building a Webscale public cloud charging system. What makes them really interesting is that they plan to handle the world's charging volume on one platform. And with that, they can reduce the TCO of the OCS by 80%. I was personally skeptical that could be done. No one, to my knowledge, has tried this concept before. So I had my team at TelcoDR do some analysis just to understand the economics of their approach. And we found, we figure that the world's telcos spend about $12 billion a year per year on charging systems. And if Togi's right, and they can bring that spend down to about $2.5 billion. That's a great market opportunity for them. And so as an ex-charging software girl, I'm really excited to see their innovation and their idea in action. Plus the cost savings seems very compelling for CSPs. And so we'll see if they can pull it off, and we'll see how it looks, I guess, in a few months.
So there are already charging systems out there. How is Togi different from other charging solutions already in the telecom industry?
Yeah, I guess to kick this off, I'm going to simplify it, probably oversimplify it. But most chargers are engines coupled with design systems that are really clunky. And Togi has an idea that's really all about the data in these systems. That is the interesting part, not the database or the charging algorithms. And that's certainly what vendors have really made it about, and it's really more about the data. And so by building a system that understands your business goals, right, knows your tariffs, has access to your subscriber and network data, their killer insight is to add ML and AI to automatically implement competitively better plans more quickly. And so they think that by doing this, it would reduce churn by up to 20%, attract up to 25% more subscribers from your competitors, and boost ARPU growth by up to 15%. And so those are some really strong business value statements. It's very promising. And I think we're going to hear a lot more, the buzzwords, we're kind of in the cloud lingo now, and now we're starting to talk about the different software things that you can use in the public cloud, like machine learning and AI. And I think we're going to start to hear more and more about that. It's coming to all the software and telco. I think this is one of the first times I've really heard of a startup or a company putting it at the center of what they're doing. I think that's super cool, and I think it's going to really upend kind of the way people think about charging.
And so in your deep dive talk, when you were talking about Togi, you mentioned that it's developing a super app. Can you explain more about the concept of the super app and why you think that will work? Lots of companies, I think, have tried this kind of approach before, and the results haven't been very encouraging.
Yeah. So I really think capitalizing on the mobile app of the telco is a missed opportunity. I mean, big tech would kill for this chance, and telco really squanders it. Almost every subscriber has their telco's app installed on their phone, and most people use it maybe one time a month, like it's only when you have to. And so I had my team at TelcoDR research all the mobile app ratings for all the telcos in the world. We literally went one by one. We went into the Google Play Store, we went into the Apple Store, and just recorded all the ratings. And I doubt that anyone would be surprised by this, but the average rating is 3.5, right? That's not really good. It should be closer to 5 stars. And so Togi has this idea that it's time that telco had and developed a super app. And the number one problem that you have to solve is that you need to build a world-class app that everyone wants to use. And you have to drive people to actually open the app and use it. And as a side effect from that, if you can get that to happen, then you can expand it. You can add valuable services for the subscriber, and you can evolve it into a super app. But you got to get people to use the app first. And so Togi's plan is to drive a fundamentally killer app with a 4.5 plus kind of review, kind of app experience. I love the high bar they're setting for themselves. This is hard, right? If it was easy, everyone would do it. And so let's see if they can do that. I think it's a really great idea, and it's about time that telco takes advantage of this opportunity, and we'll see how they do.
Okay. Now, you've talked about Togi being one Webscale charging engine for the whole of the telecoms industry. Why would this matter? Why would this be a big deal for the industry?
Yeah, and so in my Togi talk that I did at DSP, I took viewers through this great story, this great old school business story about Siebel Systems and Salesforce. And I really love, this business story because when I heard about Togi and I know all the things about our industry, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to happen right here in telco. And that's because all the software, most of the software today in telco is on-premise, it's highly customized, and it's very expensive. And these were the 3 characteristics that happened with Siebel back in the late 90s and early 2000s. And so Mark Benioff comes around, he sees what Amazon does, and he comes up with this idea for Salesforce, which is the world just needs one CRM. People don't need their own installations with their own customizations. And I think that same situation exists here in our industry. We don't need everyone with their own installations. And so in this example, I'm going to compare Amdocs to Siebel, right? They have everyone with their own individual installations. Everyone's customized. Their entire business is built on this premise. But Togi is going to do what Salesforce did. They're going to challenge the way of thinking in this industry. And so, I think for them, they're saying that's not how you should do it. There's better ways to deploy software. You should just have one charging engine for the whole world. That's all anyone needs. It's scalable with the public cloud. It's performant with the databases of the public cloud. And so, my point of view is Amdocs is like Siebel and Togi is like Salesforce. And so when you look at what happened 20 years ago, Salesforce won that battle and Siebel lost. And so I think, let's see if David can bring down Goliath. Every time I say this and I talk about this, I think people are like, no way, this will never happen. And I'm like, it happened once. It happened in CRM. I think it can happen here in telco. And I think it's not just charging. I think there's other opportunities like this where you can have one system that everyone's using and you kind of lift everyone from focusing on all the plumbing and all of the technology and focus on their business and their subscribers. And that's what really matters. And we're just going to abstract all this hard work that everyone's doing and focus the telcos on what really matters. And I think that's going to be really fun to watch. And we'll see how it goes.
Well, there's certainly increasing levels of disruption in the telecom industry. So it'll be interesting to see how the ecosystem changes in the next couple of years. Danielle, as ever, great to talk to you today.
Thanks so much, Ray. Always great to talk to you.